Yo, what's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you're tuning in from Philly, Green Bay, or anywhere else, I'm glad you're here because we need to talk about something that's got the whole league buzzing. The Green Bay Packers are at it again, pushing their agenda to get the NFL's most unstoppable short yardage play, the infamous Tush Push, banned once and for all. And honestly, it's starting to look like nothing more than sore loser energy. Now let's set the scene here. For months, we've been waiting on a final verdict about the fate of this play. The NFL owners' meetings are happening this week, and within the next 24 to 48 hours, we might finally get a decision for the Tush Push, or as we like to call it in Philly, the brotherly shove, to get the boot 24. Out of the 32 NFL owners need to vote in favor of removing it. That's a pretty high bar, right? Well, back in April, we almost had a decision. But when it came down to it, the vote was split right down the middle, 16 to 16. No majority, no ban, and logically, that should have been the end of the conversation. But here comes Roger Goodell, who clearly isn't a fan of the play. Instead of moving on, he decided to table the discussion and circle back to it now. And what's wild is that it's the Green Bay Packers leading this crusade again. First, they came in with a proposal that didn't really land. Now they've revised it, doubled down, and submitted something even more extreme. Their new language basically rewrites the rules around assisting the runner in a way that would eliminate the tush push entirely, not just for the Eagles, but for anyone. The proposal is so broad that it would ban players from pushing, pulling, lifting, or assisting a runner in almost any way, unless it's through traditional blocking. I mean, come on! This isn't about safety. This is about control. Let's be real here. The NFL has definitely made some soft moves over the years, and yeah, player safety should always be a priority. No one is denying that. But when there's zero data, zero injury reports, zero risk factors proven to be associated with this play, what exactly are we banning it for? And pace of play? Don't make me laugh. If we're going to talk about what slows down the game, or how about we address the endless TV timeouts? Or the replay delays, or when the chain gang comes out to measure a first down when we got technology advanced enough to spot the ball within inches. Let's fix that stuff first. What's happening here is simple. Green Bay got beat. They got beat by a team that's more physical, more prepared, and simply better in the trenches. And instead of figuring out how to stop the Eagles, they're trying to change the rules. The Packers tried to run the tush push with Jordan Love, and guess what? It flopped. He stumbled over his own feet. He doesn't have the build, the power, or the awareness that Jalen Hurts has. That man can squat 600 pounds. You're not moving him easily. The Eagles' offensive line is built different. So, of course, when other teams try and fail to replicate this play, it's easier to just cry foul and try to get it banned. And let's be honest, if this were the Dolphins running this play, or if it were the Jaguars, no one would care. They could call it the Dolphin Dive or the Jaguar Jam, and no one would bat an eye. But because it's the Philadelphia Eagles, suddenly it's a problem. And that right there tells you everything you need to know. We say it all the time in Philly. No one likes us, and we don't care. The Eagles have turned a basic quarterback sneak into an art form. They've perfected the timing, the spacing, the leverage. It's not just brute force. It's coaching, technique, and precision. And now that they've found something that works at a near 90% success rate, everyone else wants to take it away. Let's talk about Green Bay for a second. A historic franchise shell, great legacy, but let's not pretend like they're untouchable. This is a team that's had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in a row, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, for the better part of 3 decades. And what do they have to show for it? 2 Super Bowls, that's it. From 1992 to 2022, 2 rings. That's not dominance, that's underachievement. And now they're sitting here trying to tell the Eagles how football should be played. Maybe instead of worrying about how Philly converts 4th and 1, they should focus on not letting Saquon Barkley run wild when the Eagles visit Brazil in week 1. Maybe they should figure out how to cover Dallas Goedert instead of letting him drag defenders on angry runs in the playoffs. Maybe Jordan Love shouldn't be throwing 3 picks at the link. Maybe they shouldn't be committing 8 penalties and turning the ball over 4 times in 1 game. This whole crusade to ban the brotherly shove reeks of desperation. The thing that makes this so absurd is how specific and technical the Eagles have gotten with this play. It's not something you can just draw up in a team meeting and expect to execute. It takes reps. It takes chemistry. It takes a quarterback who understands leverage and timing and a center who can fire off low and strong every time. It's an entire unit working in perfect sync. And yet here comes the narrative that it's too easy, that it's unfair. If it were so easy, everyone would be doing it. The reality? Most teams tried and failed. Jared Goff couldn't do it. Kirk Cousins couldn't do it. Jordan Love, we already talked about him. You need the right personnel, the right coaching, the right preparation. The Eagles have all of that. So now apparently they need to be punished for it. What's even funnier is that some of the teams who claim to hate the play the most are the ones using it. The Buffalo Bills ran it more than anyone not named the Eagles last season. And yet Sean McDermott's out here saying it's unsafe. What's the plan now? Ban the play, but still sneak it in when no one's watching. These coaches are talking out of both sides of their mouths. They want the league to outlaw the play, but don't hesitate to use it when it's 4th and inches and the game's on the line. That's not leadership. That's hypocrisy. And let me throw this out there too. If this proposal actually passes, the Eagles are still going to be a dominant football team. You think they're just going to fall apart without this one play? Please. Nick Sirianni is a detail-obsessed, football-loving mastermind. You don't think he's already cooking up variations and counters that build off the same concepts. You don't think they'll find another way to turn 1 yard into a guaranteed gain. The play might change in shape, but the essence stays the same. Strength, preparation, execution. We've heard Sirianni talk about it. He said it flat out. This play isn't automatic. It's not just line up and fall forward. They practice the timing of the snap. They practice the leverage. They analyze every single red zone failure across the league to learn what went wrong. They pour time and resources into this because that's what good coaching looks like. This isn't a gimmick. This is football. Hat on hat, strength versus strength. And if you don't like it, stop it. You know who figured out how to stop it? The Kansas City Chiefs. In the AFC Championship game, the Bills went 0 for 4 on their own version of the brotherly shove. That's not Philly's fault. That's preparation by Steve Spagnuolo and the Chiefs' defense. That's what real football minds do. They study, they adapt, they adjust. They don't cry to the commissioner. And while we're here, let's not pretend this is the first time a team has used physicality to their advantage. How many times have we seen a running back pile up at the line and the linemen come in behind him to help move the stack? That's not new. That's football. Are we going to ban that too now? Should offensive linemen just stand there with their hands in their pockets while their teammate fights for extra yardage? That's not only unrealistic, that's dangerous. Letting a ball carrier get stood up without help invites defenders to fly in late and try to strip the ball. The current version of the play, if anything, protects the quarterback by eliminating some of that chaos. You can say what you want about the Eagles, but the facts are the facts. The league hasn't proven the play is unsafe. It hasn't proven it slows the game down, and it hasn't proven that banning it would make the product better. What we do know is this: Philly runs it better than anyone. They've made it part of their identity. And because of that, teams are trying to legislate away their advantage instead of rising to the challenge. And maybe the most frustrating part of all this, it's not even rooted in logic. This whole anti-Tush Push agenda is emotional. It's driven by frustration, by jealousy, and by teams that couldn't figure out how to beat it. The play became a symbol of how dominant the Eagles are at the line of scrimmage, and that dominance exposed weaknesses across the league. So instead of building better trenches, studying tape, or training their quarterbacks to be more physical, teams went crying to the league office hoping for a rule change. That's not football, that's politics. Let's be honest with ourselves. What's really going on here is that the league is getting tired of the Eagles doing it better than everyone else. This is what happens when success turns into dominance. People get uncomfortable. They look for ways to tear it down. And you know what? That's fine. Let them try. Because Philly isn't going anywhere. You can outlaw the tush push, the brotherly shove, whatever you want to call it. You can erase it from the rule book, but you can't erase the mindset. You can't erase the coaching. You can't erase the culture. Nick Sirianni said it best. They work at this play. It's not a cheat code. It's not a fluke. It's the result of reps, film, trust, and attention to detail. They've broken it down to a science. And even then, it doesn't always work. It's not some mythical order conversion. There were failed attempts. There were 2-point conversions that fell short. Third downs that didn't get converted. Fourth downs that got stuffed. This isn't a perfect play. It's just the closest thing to it, and that's why it's being targeted. Let's not forget what this play has done for the league too. Think about how much it's influenced modern offensive thinking. Teams are reevaluating how to build their offensive lines, how to utilize tight ends, how to develop quarterbacks with lower body strength. It sparked conversation about strength, leverage, pad level, all things that are at the very heart of football. But instead of seeing it as innovation, some teams and owners have chosen to see it as a problem. And that right there shows you how reactionary this league can be. And what about the fans? You think the people watching at home want fewer fourth down conversions? You think they're sitting on their couch watching the Eagles line up for a sneak and thinking, gee, I hope they fail. No, fans love it because it's raw. It's power against power. It's that moment where you find out who wants it. More. And the stadium erupts every time the Eagles move the chains on a short yardage tush push. It's electrifying. The Packers can rewrite their proposals as many times as they want. They can add new language, strike through old clauses, spin it however they want. But what they're really saying is, we can't stop this, so let's ban it. That's not competitive. That's cowardly. And to the owners getting ready to vote on this, I hope you see through it. I hope you realize what message this sends to the rest of the league, that when something works too well, we take it away. What's even crazier is that they're using safety as their main argument. But every study done on the Tush Push has shown the same thing. There are no elevated injury risks, no wave of concussions, no torn ACLs. In fact, one could argue it's safer than traditional QB sneaks, where quarterbacks dive headfirst into chaos. With the Tush Push, there's more control. The contact is lower. The motion is compact and calculated. It might actually reduce the chances of violent collisions. Jeffrey Lurie came out and said it plain and simple. There's been no data, none, that suggests a brotherly shove is unsafe. And if the data doesn't support banning it, then what are we doing? It's not about safety. It's about ego. And once again, it's the Eagles paying the price for being too good at something. And while we're here, let's talk about personnel. You think just anyone can run this play? The Eagles have a quarterback who squats over 600 pounds. That's not a common trait. Their offensive line is loaded with all-pro talent. Their coaching staff drills this into the ground. The precision, the footwork, the timing, it's all by design. So yeah, it works for them, but that doesn't mean it would work for everyone else. That's part of the beauty. It's unique. It's tailored. It's earned. I've watched teams across the league try to copy it and fail miserably. I remember Jared Goff trying it and getting stonewalled. I remember Kirk Cousins barely moving the line. I remember Jordan Love literally tripping over his own feet. It's not plug and play. It's not a shortcut. If anything, it highlights just how important physical preparation and detailed coaching are in today's NFL. If this play was some kind of glitch, it would be exploited by everyone. But that's not what's happening. Teams are trying and failing because they don't have what Philly has, a rare combination of strength, coaching, and commitment to fundamentals. That's not a cheat code. That's excellence. And if we're banning things just because they're hard to stop, where does it end? Are we going to outlaw the read option? Take away RPOs because they confuse defenders? What about the play action bootleg? It's all part of the chess match. And if you can't defend it, that's on you. The point of the game is to find something that works and ride it until someone stops you. The Eagles found their weapon, and now the league is panicking. You want to talk about pace of play? Let's talk about it. You know what actually kills momentum? Commercial breaks every 3 minutes. Endless booth reviews for spot of the ball challenges. Ref crews taking 5 minutes to figure out whether a guy's knee was down by a blade of grass. That's what slows the game. Not a 3-second quarterback sneak. And if you're one of those fans or owners saying, but it's boring, ask yourself this. Since when has physical dominance at the line of scrimmage been boring? Since when has football been about avoiding success because it looks too clean? This is what the game is about. Helmet to helmet, man on man. You need 1 yard. Can you get it? That's as old school as it gets. You think Vince Lombardi would be in favor of banning a play just because it worked too well? No way. He'd be the first one trying to run it. The Packers, ironically, are named after one of the most hard-nosed coaches in NFL history. And now they're leading the charge against a physical, tough trench warfare play? What happened to Green Bay? Where's that grit? It's disappointing to see a franchise with so much history leaning into this type of politics. Instead of building a better roster, a tougher line, and developing a quarterback who can execute the play, they want the rules changed. And I don't buy the whole "we're protecting the game" argument. If they were truly about protecting the game, they'd find ways to compete. They'd make adjustments. They'd rise to the challenge. That's what football has always been about. Overcoming adversity. And you know what would be the ultimate statement? If the Eagles go to Lambeau Field this season and run a modified version of the Tush Push just to remind everyone what they're capable of. Maybe it's not a straight ahead sneak. Maybe it's a misdirection. Maybe it's a fake push into a pitch outside. Whatever it is, I guarantee Philly's already drawing it up, because that's what good teams do. They adapt. And if the league comes to its senses and lets the play stand, then every team will have a choice. You either study tape, work your tail off in the weight room, and teach your quarterback how to power through short yardage, or you keep falling short and blaming everyone but yourself. That's the reality. And the Eagles, they're ready either way. So to the Green Bay Packers, I say this: if you're tired of getting shoved around, stop trying to rewrite the rule book and start building a better football team. Because no matter how many proposals you send in, the Eagles are still going to be the most physical team in football. You can't ban grit. You can't ban strength. And you sure as hell can't ban Philly toughness. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Philadelphia Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni has signed a long-term contract extension, solidifying his future with the franchise and reaffirming the team's commitment to continued success under his leadership. The deal, announced by the team earlier this week, comes after 3 productive seasons at the helm, during which Sirianni helped re-establish the Eagles as one of the NFL's premier contenders. Since taking over as head coach in 2021, Sirianni has compiled an impressive record, including leading the team to a Super Bowl appearance in the 2022 season. His innovative offensive strategies and ability to connect with players have drawn praise from across the league, and his development of quarterback Jalen Hurts into an MVP caliber player has been a cornerstone of the team's recent rise. The extension signals the organization's confidence in Sirianni's vision and approach. While the terms of the new deal were not disclosed, the move ensures stability for a franchise that has undergone significant transformation over the past few years. Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie expressed full support for the coach, emphasizing that Sirianni's leadership, work ethic, and passion for the game align perfectly with the team's long-term goals. Sirianni's tenure has not been without challenges. After a dominant 2022 campaign, the Eagles faced adversity in the 2023 season, finishing with a less consistent performance down the stretch. However, the organization views those setbacks as part of the natural growth process of a young, evolving team, and believes Sirianni is the right person to guide them forward. In a statement following the announcement, Sirianni said he was honored to continue leading the Eagles and praised the players, coaching staff, and front office for their collective commitment. He reiterated his focus on building a championship culture and delivering consistent results for the passionate Philadelphia fan base. With his future now secured, Sirianni can focus fully on preparing for the upcoming season as the Eagles aim to return to the top of the NFC. The long-term extension marks a vote of confidence in both the man and the mission, and it sets the stage for what the team hopes will be a new era of sustained success. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.